Hi guys, it's Andrew here. It's been a long time since I've done a tutorial. It's probably been a few months because I had a few other things I've been getting involved in. Namely, one of them is making a game for the Android platform, which has been a pretty cool experience. I'll show you more about that later, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carry on from where we left off. For me it's been a few months, but for you it'll probably be a matter of minutes if you're watching these in sequence. So I probably didn't need to explain that anyway. Okay, right. From where we last left off, we created an object, a constructor, and an instance of an object called player. Sorry, it's called player1, which was an instance of the player object, which is also a constructor. That's confusing, but anyway, I'm sure you by this time you pretty much understand what I'm talking about. We basically created an instance and we created a rectangle with all the parameters here. So now I'm going to show you how to create an animation. Finally, you probably may say. So first things first, I'm going to show you a framework which we're going to use from now onwards for all our games, and it looks a little bit like this. We're going to start off creating a function called initiate. Now this function is basically going to initiate all our other functions, like the game itself, and it'll also just kind of act as the first function that's called every time we start our game. So now the initiate function, as it's the first function to be initiated, basically it does what it says on the tin. It's going to initiate a few other functions. I hope I'm not making this sound too complicated. I'm kind of fumbling around a bit, but you'll get what I mean as we go through it. It's gonna call a method called start game. Oh, forgot the semicolon. Now we're going to write start game function. Now this is going to make a call to the animate function. You may be asking, why am I doing so many functions? It'll all become clear. These functions are going to become more populated as we go through, and each one of these is going to do a few different things. So this will initiate the animate function. I don't know why I keep putting so many spaces in between these. Just getting overexcited. And let's create the animate one. Now the animate function is going to be the one that's going to do all the work. It's basically going to draw, clear, draw and update the canvas. Basically, it's going to basically do the majority of the work. The start game is going to set up the initial. It's going to set up the initial kind of objects and things, and then the animate is going to basically be involved in a lot of the updates and redrawing the sprites and objects to the screen. I'm also going to then just make a call at the bottom, init inish So what's going to happen as soon as it's loaded up, it's going to make a call to the initiation method function. Basically what it's going to do, it's going to make a call to the init function, which in turn is going to call the start game function, which in turn will start the animate, which is going to do a lot of the work. So let's see how this works quickly. So text. One thing I am going to do is just delete this, or maybe actually cut and paste would be easier, so I don't have to type it out again. I'm going to paste it into here, like so. Like so, and if we refresh the screen, this actually should do exactly what it did before, which it does. It's basically still printing out the or drawing the rectangle to the screen. It's just a little bit more of a complex task. So it's basically calling to the initiate, which in turn is calling to this, which is calling to this, and then it's drawing the rectangle. What I really want to do is make intermittent calls to the animate function every few seconds, and then also update the position each time, and then that way it will create an animation. I mean, what we really need to be doing is clearing the canvas on each turn and then redrawing it in a different position. I hope I made that clear. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that now. So first of all, I need to create a variable to contain the canvas height and canvas width. So as we've done before, canvas width, it's canvas dot width. Because we need to make we need to use these within the animate function. So basically all we need to do to make an animation, as I may have just said in so many words, is each time we're basically going to clear the canvas, we're going to then draw it in a different position, and then we're going to just kind of update the value, so it's going to, and then next time it's going to move it along and along. So basically you're erasing and redrawing it in a different position each time, hence but we're going to see it as an animation because that's the way our puny brains work. Right, so first of all, clear rectangle. Now we're going to clear a rectangle x, y of 0, so it's going to start at the very top left, and it's going to go and to the length and height of the canvas width and canvas height. So each time this is updated, it's going to clear the whole canvas, and then it's going to draw again. Now we need to update. So player 1 player1.x, which is the x coordinate, is going to increment each time it goes round, this is it's almost finished. All we need to do now is make intermittent calls to this function every few seconds. So to do this, we use what we're going to do is use a method called setTimeOut, and we want to feed it two arguments. One is going to be the animate function itself, and the next argument is how often you want it to make a call to the animate function. So we're going to say every 33 milliseconds. You could put 1 second, that would look like this. It's 1,000 milliseconds, but we want it to be faster now. We want it to be 33 milliseconds. So now, if I close this, fingers crossed, we have an animation. Brilliant. So that's pretty easy thing to do. We basically just created an object, created a few functions, made a call every 33 milliseconds to the animate function, and drew that to screen, draw the results to screen. So basically we erase the canvas, fill the rectangle in the position, player1 dot x, y, width and height. But basically what we did is each time we updated this variable here. So each time we've iterated it by 1. So the next time round, it's gonna clear the canvas and then draw it again in this new position, and again and again and again and again every 33 milliseconds until it's off the screen. In fact, it's probably still updating it now, so if in theory it's probably over here somewhere, or even further off the screen. So that's all for this tutorial. In the next tutorial I'm going to show you how to keep your rectangle within the confines of the canvas. So there's going to be a little bit of collision detection going on, which I'm sure you'll be excited about. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Sorry about the long wait in between the tutorials, but if you've come in at a later time you probably wouldn't have noticed the difference. But anyway, I will see you in the next tutorial. Thank you. Bye.